My child, my beloved. Do not take these words lightly. Archangel Michael stands beside you right now, his sword of truth burning in the unseen. He is whispering, their case is closed. But it is not what you think. The verdict written over your life is about to shock you. You are not reading this by chance. Heaven guided your eyes to this moment. The seal on your destiny has been broken for a reason. Archangel Michael says, they hid the truth from you for years, but now the scroll is open. The court of heaven has ruled in your favor, and what was stolen is being returned. I beg you, do not ignore this. Every second you hesitate, another door swings shut. Stay here until the end of this message. The release will happen even as you listen. For years you have prayed, thinking no one heard. But the record was being written above. Today the gavel of heaven has struck. Archangel Michael says, you will soon hear a name, a place, a whisper you've waited for. It will arrive in a way you never expected, like a letter carried on the wind. Your case is closed in the eyes of men, but open in the hands of God. That is why this moment matters so much. If this word touches your soul, pause for a second, breathe it in, and subscribe right now so you don't miss the next divine warning. Because the next line that comes could save your destiny. You feel it, don't you? The pull inside your chest, the warmth, the goosebumps on your arms. That is the sign Michael promised. He is saying, my beloved, the tears you cried in silence have been counted. The injustice you suffered has been overturned. You will soon see with your own eyes what heaven already declared. Do not let anyone distract you right now. This is not just another video. This is a living word moving through time to reach you. Even as you listen, hidden things are surfacing. Names are being revealed. Chains are breaking in places you cannot see. Archangel Michael says, they tried to erase your name. They forged papers, they whispered lies. But heaven's stamp cannot be removed. My child, you are not forgotten. Your case is closed because the higher court spoke. You will soon hold in your hands what was always yours. Keep your eyes here. This message has layers like a sealed envelope. Every line is a thread of revelation being pulled loose. Right now, someone powerful is remembering you. Someone who once turned away is searching your name. Do not be surprised when a message comes out of nowhere. Archangel Michael says, prepare yourself. When the call comes, answer gently but firmly. It will be the sign that the old chapter is finished. Even now, the angels are moving. You might feel a shift in the room, a tingle, a sudden peace. That is the confirmation. Stay with me until the end. Because the final lines hold the key you have been praying for. It will unlock what no human hand could unlock. God says, my child, the time of silence is over. The scroll has been read aloud in heaven. And your name is shining again. This is why you were drawn here. This is not an accident. It is the hour of unveiling. Archangel Michael says, they cannot stop what is already written. No signature can block the decree. Your inheritance is safe in the vault of heaven. If your heart is burning as you read this, Whisper, "I receive," under your breath. That simple act is your agreement with heaven. Because in the next moments, unexpected signs will begin to appear. Numbers, names, dreams, even strangers will carry the message. Stay here, beloved. Do not scroll away. Your miracle is weaving itself through these lines. And when you reach the last word, something will shift in the invisible. The truth they try to bury will rise like fire. My beloved child, listen closely, for what I am about to reveal is not meant for every ear. Archangel Michael is standing guard over this moment, and he will not allow these words to reach you unless your spirit was prepared to hear them. The truth is this: your case is closed. Not closed in the way the world closes files and throws them into dusty drawers, forgotten and neglected, but closed because heaven itself has ruled. The gavel of divine authority has already struck. The angels have written your name on a decree, and the blood of heaven has sealed it. And now, no matter how many powers try to erase it, no matter how many enemies try to rise against you, the word has already gone forth. This is why you feel that strange tug in your heart as you hear this message, almost like a burning in your chest, like an invisible thread pulling you into the unseen. It is because this word belongs to you. Archangel Michael says, "My child, they sat in rooms and whispered about you, they planned judgments, they wrote accusations, they pointed fingers, but all of it is dust compared to the decree written above. You have already been acquitted in the courts of heaven. The case is closed. And though you may still see battles swirling around you, though you may hear voices of doubt, though you may watch people plotting against you, do not be deceived. For what you are witnessing is only the last gasp of a defeated power, like the shadow of smoke after fire has already been quenched. The real decision has been made. Heaven has spoken. Now, do not think this word comes to you lightly. You were guided here. Every twist of your path, every unanswered prayer, every sleepless night where you asked, "Why, God, why?" has been leading you to this exact point. This is not coincidence. It is alignment. God knew the exact hour when your heart would be ready to hear this and when your spirit would finally be strong enough to accept it. That is why this is reaching you now. Archangel Michael himself is commanding you, do not ignore this. If you do, you risk turning away from the very release you have begged for. Stay. Listen. Absorb every word until the end. For within these words, the revelation will unfold piece by piece, like a sealed scroll being opened in your very presence. Beloved, you need to understand this. The reason your case is closed is because the truth they try to hide can no longer be buried. They pushed it down, they covered it with lies, they clothed it with manipulation, but heaven's fire has burned through the coverings. And what will come forth will not just vindicate you, it will astonish even your enemies. They will have no words. They will have no excuses. They will only stand silent as the truth bursts forth like light breaking through a storm cloud. You have waited years for this moment, and perhaps you doubted it would ever come, but the delay was not denial. The delay was preparation. Now, Archangel Michael says, the time has come. Beloved, you need to understand this. The reason your case is closed is because the truth they tried to hide can no longer be buried. They pushed it down, they covered it with lies, they clothed it with manipulation, but heaven's fire has burned through the coverings. And what will come forth will not just vindicate you, it will astonish even your enemies. They will have no words. They will have no excuses. They will only stand silent as the truth bursts forth like light breaking through a storm cloud. You have waited years for this moment, and perhaps you doubted it would ever come, but the delay was not denial. The delay was preparation. Now, Archangel Michael says, the time has come. Even as you hear this, something is shifting around you. The Spirit of God is stirring names in the hearts of people who had forgotten you. They are being reminded. A memory of you is resurfacing in their thoughts. Do not be surprised when an unexpected message comes, a phone call, a letter, even a face appearing from nowhere. This is not random. This is a sign that the sealed case in heaven has already been opened on earth. You will see it unfold in natural events, but do not be fooled, this is spiritual first. That is why your ears are hearing these words in this moment. And here is the most urgent part, my child, the enemy knows his time is short. He knows the ruling has already been made in your favor. That is why, in these next hours and days, he will try harder than ever to distract you, discourage you, pull your attention away from the truth you are hearing now. But you must resist. You must cling to this word like a drowning man clings to a rope. Because this rope is pulling you into your destiny. Heaven says, hold on. The waters will rise, but you will not sink. Archangel Michael says, stand firm, child, for your sword is truth, and truth has already cut the cords of your bondage. If this word pierces you, if it feels as though these sentences are being spoken directly to your private thoughts, then I plead with you, do not let it go. Stay connected. Seal this word in your spirit by subscribing so you never miss the next divine alert. For God is releasing words in this season that come like keys, keys that unlock the invisible doors before you. If you miss one, you risk walking in circles when the door was waiting right beside you. That is why this subscription is not just a click, it is a covenant between you and heaven to remain aligned with the words that sustain you. Child, you must also know this, tears are never wasted. Every single tear that rolled down your cheek in the darkness was not only seen, it was collected. The scripture says God keeps your tears in a bottle, and that bottle has now been poured out as evidence in the courts of heaven. That is why your case is closed. The evidence has been examined, and heaven has judged in your favor. You are not guilty. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. And now you are free. Beloved child, Archangel Michael leans close to whisper in your ear, and though you cannot see him with your physical eyes, the weight of his presence presses on your spirit right now. He says, the case is closed because the truth is revealed, and no hand of man can shut what heaven has opened. For too long you have lived under the shadow of accusation, the weight of misunderstandings, the sting of betrayal. But in the invisible realm, papers have been signed, seals have been broken, and heaven's verdict has overturned the lies spoken against you. Do not mistake the silence of certain people for defeat. Their silence is evidence that their words have been cut down. They can no longer stand against the proof God has released into the atmosphere. Even now, the walls of deception are collapsing like Jericho's walls under the trumpet blast. The more they tried to cover it, the louder the truth echoed in eternity until it broke into your timeline. Understand, my beloved, that when God closes a case, He does not merely erase accusations, he rewrites destiny. He takes the very ink that was used to mark you guilty and turns it into a signature of blessing. This is what Archangel Michael wants you to hear clearly: your past pain is not wasted. It becomes the very proof of your chosen status. They thought they had locked you in chains, but those chains are being displayed as trophies of your endurance. You are not a victim, you are evidence. You are proof of what heaven can do when a child refuses to give up, even when the night is long and the storm unrelenting. That is why you were drawn here, to sit under this word and drink it in like living water. It is meant to revive you and prepare you, for your next chapter is already opening. And listen carefully. The reason you feel this magnetic pull inside as you hear these sentences is because your spirit is resonating with truth. Lies do not bring peace, deception leaves a sour aftertaste. But when heaven speaks, even if the words pierce, they leave behind a holy calm, a strange knowing that cannot be shaken. That is the confirmation you need. God says to you, my child, I am not a man that I should lie. If I declare your freedom, then you are free indeed. You may still be waiting for the phone call, the letter, the open door, but understand that these are only the ripples of the decision already made in heaven. The case is closed. It is done. You are free. But child, Archangel Michael warns that in the days ahead, distractions will come dressed as opportunities. You will see doors that look open, but they lead back into bondage. You will hear voices that seem sweet, but their words are poisoned. Do not be fooled. The enemy is desperate, and desperation makes him disguise himself as light. That is why you must anchor yourself to this word and keep it before your eyes like a lamp in the night. Heaven has closed the case, and you cannot allow yourself to reopen it by stepping into old traps. Walk with discernment. Ask yourself, does this feel like peace or does this stir confusion? For the Spirit of God is not a spirit of confusion but of truth and clarity. Now, listen to this deeper layer. The truth that is about to be revealed will not only vindicate you, it will expose those who sought to destroy you. And their downfall will not come by your hand, for vengeance is not yours to carry. God Himself is your defender. This is why Archangel Michael has drawn his sword, to strike down the false structures built against you. The shock will not only be yours, but theirs. They will see what they have done laid bare in the light, and there will be no escape. Some will repent, others will flee, but none will be able to deny the truth. And you, child, will stand in the center of it not as one gloating, but as one redeemed. That is your calling, not to boast in their fall, but to shine with the evidence of heaven's mercy. Now, listen to this deeper layer. The truth that is about to be revealed will not only vindicate you, it will expose those who sought to destroy you. And their downfall will not come by your hand, for vengeance is not yours to carry. God Himself is your defender. This is why Archangel Michael has drawn his sword, to strike down the false structures built against you. The shock will not only be yours, but theirs. They will see what they have done laid bare in the light, and there will be no escape. Some will repent, others will flee, but none will be able to deny the truth. And you, child, will stand in the center of it not as one gloating, but as one redeemed. That is your calling, not to boast in their fall, but to shine with the evidence of heaven's mercy. Pause for a moment and let this sink in. All those years you thought were wasted, all those tears that seemed unanswered, all those times you whispered into the silence and thought no one heard, they were being gathered. They became evidence. The courtroom of heaven is not like the courts of man. In earthly courts, evidence is stacked to condemn. In God's court, your tears become evidence of your faith, your waiting becomes evidence of your endurance, your broken prayers become evidence of your chosen place in His story. That is why your case is closed. Not because you were strong every day, but because you did not give up when you could have. That is the mark of a chosen one. Archangel Michael says, your inheritance is being delivered. Do not fear when sudden change sweeps in. Do not tremble when people begin to distance themselves. Some must leave because their presence would contaminate your blessing. Some must be removed because they were never meant to taste the fruit that belongs to you. Child, do not cling to what God is cutting away. The closed case means you are stepping into a new field, and the old cannot come with you. Release it. Trust Him. Let go. For what is coming will fill your hands so fully that you will wonder why you ever begged for scraps before. And beloved, mark this in your heart, the evidence of your closed case will appear in threes. 3 signs, 3 confirmations, 3 undeniable witnesses will appear to you. It may come as repeated numbers, as dreams that echo one another, as messages from unexpected sources. Pay attention. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are the divine seal confirming the truth. When the 3rd sign appears, know this, the chapter is done. The door is locked. The enemy has no key. And your future has already begun. If these words feel alive to you, if they resonate so deeply that your heart pounds as you hear them, then anchor yourself in this connection. Do not let the thread break. Seal this moment by subscribing, because what is being released in this season comes in waves. One word opens the door, the next word unlocks the chamber, the next word reveals the treasure. Do not let yourself miss even one wave, for together they form the current that carries you into destiny. Child, lean in, for the Spirit whispers this final truth for now, the case is closed, but the story is not over. What they thought would end you has only written the introduction to the chapter that will define you. The very stage they built to shame you will become the platform of your testimony. What they used to curse you will become the blessing that feeds generations after you. They meant it for evil, but I have already turned it for good. So stand tall, beloved. Dry your tears. Square your shoulders. Heaven's gavel has fallen, and your case is closed. Step now into the freedom already given, and prepare for the miracle already racing toward you. My beloved child, you have walked through valleys so dark that even your own shadow abandoned you. You have questioned whether heaven heard your cries, whether the angels really stood guard, whether your prayers vanished into emptiness. But hear me now, none of it was wasted. Every silent night was recorded, every trembling word was written down, and every moment of despair became evidence before the throne. That is why Archangel Michael stands now and declares with fire, the case is closed. Not because your enemies withdrew, not because life suddenly became fair, but because the judge of all judges leaned forward, examined your record, and declared you free. Your name has been cleared in the unseen, and that verdict will soon echo loudly in the natural world. Even those who doubted you will be forced to watch the truth unfold like a sunrise they cannot block with their hands. There is something you must understand, child. Closure in heaven does not look like closure on earth. When people close cases, they bury them, they forget, they push them into archives never to be spoken of again. But when heaven closes a case, it is not forgotten, it is redeemed. What the enemy tried to use against you becomes fuel for your destiny. What was whispered in darkness becomes a megaphone in the light. This is why you have felt turbulence in recent days, like the ground shifting beneath your feet. It is because heaven's decree has gone forth, and everything around you is being rearranged to match the new order written in the Spirit. Archangel Michael is overseeing this rearrangement himself. You may feel chaos, but in truth it is alignment. Things are falling apart only because something greater is falling into place. Even now, unseen forces are working on your behalf. Papers are moving across desks. Names are being whispered in places you cannot enter. Decisions are being shifted in your favor, though you have no idea who is speaking up for you. This is what it means when heaven says, "The case is closed." You no longer have to fight for yourself, the fight has already been won in the realm where outcomes are written. That is why you feel this strange mixture of peace and restlessness. Your spirit knows you are free, but your mind is still catching up. That is why you were drawn here, to this very moment, to hear these words. They are the bridge between what your spirit already knows and what your mind needs to understand. Child, let me speak plainly. The truth they tried to bury is rising. It will not come quietly. It will surface in ways you least expect. Someone will slip and speak the words they were meant to hide. A document will appear when no one was looking for it. A secret conversation will leak into the light. These are not accidents, they are the fingerprints of God pulling the truth into the open. Archangel Michael says, you will not need to defend yourself. The truth itself will fight for you. And when it does, the tears you shed in silence will become the banner of your victory. Even now, unseen forces are working on your behalf. Papers are moving across desks. Names are being whispered in places you cannot enter. Decisions are being shifted in your favor, though you have no idea who is speaking up for you. This is what it means when heaven says, the case is closed. You no longer have to fight for yourself, the fight has already been won in the realm where outcomes are written. That is why you feel this strange mixture of peace and restlessness. Your spirit knows you are free, but your mind is still catching up. That is why you were drawn here, to this very moment, to hear these words. They are the bridge between what your spirit already knows and what your mind needs to understand. Child, let me speak plainly. The truth they tried to bury is rising. It will not come quietly. It will surface in ways you least expect. Someone will slip and speak the words they were meant to hide. A document will appear when no one was looking for it. A secret conversation will leak into the light. These are not accidents, they are the fingerprints of God pulling the truth into the open. Archangel Michael says, you will not need to defend yourself. The truth itself will fight for you. And when it does, the tears you shed in silence will become the banner of your victory. But be warned, my child, the enemy will not retreat without resistance. He will send distractions, sudden storms of doubt, even false opportunities to lure you back into fear. You may notice old voices resurfacing, people you thought were gone reappearing with soft words or tempting offers. Recognize it for what it is. These are not gifts, they are traps. The case is already closed, but the enemy will try to trick you into reopening it with your own choices. Stand firm. When peace departs from a situation, know immediately it is not from God. Let peace be your compass, for peace is the signature of heaven. Now listen to this hidden truth: when heaven closes a case, it not only frees you, it sends ripples through your entire bloodline. The battles you have endured were not only about you, they were about breaking curses that lingered for generations. That is why the warfare felt heavier than you could bear. You were carrying the weight of your ancestors' battles. But hear this: you were chosen because you were strong enough to bring it to an end. The gavel did not only fall for you, it fell for your children, and your children's children. The chains that tormented your family line are broken with you. That is why Archangel Michael's sword burns so brightly. He has cut through the cords that bound your bloodline. You will be the first to walk free, but not the last. Do not be surprised, then, when blessing multiplies in your house. Do not wonder why doors begin to open not only for you, but for those connected to you. It is because the case was generational, and so is the verdict. Freedom runs like fire through your veins, and it will spill into the lives of those near you. Some will not understand why suddenly favor surrounds them. Some will not realize it is your alignment that unlocked their miracle. But you will know, child. You will know it is because you endured, you stood firm, and you refused to let go of the hand of heaven. And now, here is a revelation that will stretch your mind: the very people who accused you will become witnesses to your elevation. God will not hide your blessing. He will display it in front of those who once tried to bury you. This is not cruelty, it is justice. They must see that heaven's verdict cannot be overturned. They must watch as the very stone they rolled to cover your future is pushed aside, and you walk out shining with glory. Do not be bitter when this happens. Do not rejoice in their downfall. Stand tall, smile with grace, and let your life testify. That is how you silence the mouths of liars, not with arguments, but with undeniable evidence of God's hand upon you. If your spirit feels this word like fire in your chest, then do not let it pass. Anchor yourself to this stream. Seal this connection by subscribing, for these words are not random, they are a flow. Each one is a step in the unfolding journey heaven has written for you. If you miss one, you risk losing a piece of the puzzle. But if you stay, you will walk steadily from revelation to revelation until the full picture is revealed. So rest now, child. Do not worry about the how or the when. Trust the who, the one who has already ruled in your favor. Your case is closed, your freedom is sealed, and your future is secure. Walk forward in peace, for what is coming will not delay much longer. The truth is rising, and nothing can hold it back. My beloved child, do not mistake the silence of this hour for abandonment, for even in silence the heavens roar with activity on your behalf. Archangel Michael stands, sword lifted, at the very threshold of your destiny. His command is firm and his eyes are aflame with the fire of truth, and he declares again, the case is closed. These words are not a suggestion, not a hopeful whisper, but a decree written into the foundation of eternity itself. When heaven decrees, nothing on earth, nothing in hell, nothing in the expanse of the universe can reverse it. The only one who can walk away from this freedom is you, if you choose to doubt it, to ignore it, or to open doors that heaven has already sealed. That is why this message has found you at this precise moment. You needed to hear it now, because the days ahead will test whether you truly believe what heaven has spoken. Child, consider the weight of these words. The accuser has lost his voice against you. He tried, oh how he tried, to remind heaven of your failures, your weaknesses, your mistakes. He brought your tears as evidence, he brought your broken promises, he brought the moments you doubted, the nights you nearly gave up. But heaven looked upon the blood of the Lamb, upon the endurance of your heart, and declared, none of this condemns my child. This is why the enemy is furious, why he thrashes about like a serpent cut in two. He knows the court is no longer listening to him. He has been silenced. And now the only power he holds is the power you give him by entertaining his lies. Resist him, and he will flee. Accept the verdict, and you will walk free. Let me reveal to you something most cannot see. The reason you have been attacked so relentlessly is not because you are weak, but because you carry something so precious that hell itself trembles at the thought of you rising. You have wondered, why me? Why always me? Why do I seem to carry battles heavier than those around me? And the answer is this: because your mantle is heavier, your destiny wider, your inheritance richer. Great light attracts great darkness. But now, hear this clearly: the case is closed, the attack is finished, and the inheritance is being released. You will not carry the weight of endless battles forever. A shift has taken place, and though storms may still rage, their power has already been broken. Let me reveal to you something most cannot see. The reason you have been attacked so relentlessly is not because you are weak, but because you carry something so precious that hell itself trembles at the thought of you rising. You have wondered, why me? Why always me? Why do I seem to carry battles heavier than those around me? And the answer is this: because your mantle is heavier, your destiny wider, your inheritance richer. Great light attracts great darkness. But now, hear this clearly: the case is closed, the attack is finished, and the inheritance is being released. You will not carry the weight of endless battles forever. A shift has taken place, and though storms may still rage, their power has already been broken. Archangel Michael speaks again: my child, in the next season you will see the unraveling of knots that have held you captive for years. Watch closely. Do not despise small beginnings. For even the smallest thread pulled can loosen the tightest knot. What once felt impossible will suddenly unravel before your eyes. Believe this, for you will witness it soon. Things you thought required years of effort will suddenly shift in a matter of weeks. Doors closed for decades will swing open with one knock. People who once turned away will search for you again. And you will know it is not coincidence, but confirmation that heaven's decree is unfolding in your life. Child, do not be surprised if some grow uncomfortable with your blessing. Not everyone around you is ready to celebrate your freedom. Some who pretended to support you secretly benefited from your captivity. They are uneasy now because your rise exposes their motives. Let them go. Bless them, release them, but do not tether your destiny to their approval. This new chapter does not require their presence. The closed case means a closed circle. Only those chosen by heaven will walk with you into what is next. Do not mourn what leaves, for every departure clears space for divine replacement. And hear me, beloved, your testimony will not only vindicate you, it will ignite others. There are those who are still drowning in despair, those who believe their cases will never be heard, who believe heaven has forgotten them. When they hear your story, when they see what unfolds for you, faith will spark within them like a candle catching flame. Your freedom is not just for you, it is a beacon. That is why the enemy tried so hard to silence you. He knew your rise would awaken others. But he has failed. And now your light will spread further than you imagine, touching lives you may never meet, reaching hearts across time and distance. Pause for a moment, child, and let yourself imagine it, the peace of no longer carrying accusations, the joy of standing unashamed, the strength of walking without the chains that once bound you. This is not a dream, it is the reality being written over you now. Heaven is not waiting to decide. The decision is made. The case is closed. Your freedom is secure. All that remains is for you to step into it with boldness. And yet, the Spirit warns, be vigilant. A closed case does not mean a quiet enemy. He will still whisper lies, still try to convince you that nothing has changed. He will replay old memories, stirring guilt and shame, hoping you will forget heaven's verdict. Do not listen. When these whispers come, declare aloud, the case is closed. Repeat it until peace floods you again. These words are your shield. They are your sword. They are your reminder that you are no longer bound. Child, the days ahead will reveal signs so clear that you cannot deny them. Expect 3 encounters that will confirm this word. A stranger's unexpected kindness, a dream that feels more real than waking life, and a repeated number that appears until you can no longer dismiss it, these will be your markers. When they come, smile and remember this moment. Remember that heaven prepared you for them. Remember that Archangel Michael told you to watch. And when you see them, rejoice, for they are the seal of your freedom. If this word resounds in you, if you feel it like waves washing over your spirit, do not walk away unchanged. Anchor yourself here. Seal this word by subscribing, for what heaven is releasing now will come in sequence, one revelation after another. Miss one, and you may struggle to understand the next. Stay aligned, and the story will unfold with clarity. This is not entertainment, this is alignment with destiny. So walk forward, my beloved. Lift your head. Dry your tears. Let your shoulders bear the weight of freedom, not shame. For the one who judges rightly has spoken, and his word is final. No earthly gavel can overturn the decree of heaven. No whisper of the enemy can silence the shout of God. Your case is closed, your destiny secured, your inheritance released. Now rise, and live as one redeemed. Beloved child, let me take you deeper into the mystery of what has already been decreed over your life. When Archangel Michael stood before the throne of heaven and declared, "The case is closed," a ripple went out across eternity. That ripple shook every record of accusation ever written against you. The scrolls of lies, the testimonies of deceivers, the shadows of your past mistakes, each one was reviewed, and then, with the fire of heaven, consumed. What remains now is not the story of your shame, but the testimony of your endurance. Do you not see? Even the moments you considered failures have become evidence of your faith. For though you fell, you rose again. Though you doubted, you whispered his name. Though you almost let go, you still held on. And heaven counts this as victory. Archangel Michael speaks with thunder in his voice, "My child, you have been accused in the courts of men, but vindicated in the courts of God. You have been mocked by voices around you, but applauded by the hosts of heaven. You have been pressed down, but not destroyed. And now, the verdict is final." Can you feel the weight of those words? They are not mere encouragement, they are the fabric of your new reality. You no longer walk under the shadow of suspicion. You no longer bow beneath the heaviness of condemnation. You walk now with light upon your shoulders and truth as your crown. But child, let me open to you the reason heaven is so urgent with this message, because the moment a verdict is declared, a door is unlocked. That door leads to inheritance, to restoration, to promotion. But only those who step forward with boldness can enter it. Too many, after hearing such words, sit back and wait for blessings to fall into their lap, and in doing so they delay what was meant to come swiftly. Do not fall into that trap. Step forward with the confidence of one who knows the court is already settled. Dare to apply again. Dare to speak again. Dare to walk into places you once avoided. For the very places that rejected you will now be the platforms of your acceptance. Archangel Michael speaks with thunder in his voice, "My child, you have been accused in the courts of men, but vindicated in the courts of God. You have been mocked by voices around you, but applauded by the hosts of heaven. You have been pressed down, but not destroyed. And now, the verdict is final." Can you feel the weight of those words? They are not mere encouragement, they are the fabric of your new reality. You no longer walk under the shadow of suspicion. You no longer bow beneath the heaviness of condemnation. You walk now with light upon your shoulders and truth as your crown. But child, let me open to you the reason heaven is so urgent with this message, because the moment a verdict is declared, a door is unlocked. That door leads to inheritance, to restoration, to promotion. But only those who step forward with boldness can enter it. Too many, after hearing such words, sit back and wait for blessings to fall into their lap, and in doing so they delay what was meant to come swiftly. Do not fall into that trap. Step forward with the confidence of one who knows the court is already settled. Dare to apply again. Dare to speak again. Dare to walk into places you once avoided. For the very places that rejected you will now be the platforms of your acceptance. Understand this also, when a case is closed in heaven, time itself bends to serve the verdict. What would have taken years suddenly collapses into months, weeks, even days. Do not measure the future by the slow crawl of your past. The pace is changing. The hand of God is accelerating your story, because what has been delayed too long is now being restored with interest. The enemy will not only release what he stole, he will release more than he ever took, for heaven repays with multiplication. That is why sudden opportunities will soon appear. Do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are the natural signs of a supernatural verdict. And child, let me warn you with love, when your vindication manifests, some will not be able to celebrate you. They will watch your rise with silent resentment, for your elevation reminds them of their own compromise. Do not harden your heart. Do not gloat in your blessing. Instead, let your response be kindness. For nothing silences envy like grace. Nothing dismantles jealousy like humility. Show them that your blessing does not make you proud, it makes you grateful. In doing so, you heap coals upon the enemy's head, and you shine all the brighter in the eyes of heaven. Pause and let this truth breathe in you. The case is not only closed, it is sealed. No one can reopen it. Even you, child, cannot erase heaven's decree. What you can do is delay its manifestation by doubting, or quicken it by believing. That is why Archangel Michael says, "Stand firm. Guard your heart. Do not trade your crown for crumbs." The enemy will tempt you with lesser things, hoping you will settle. But you were not born for crumbs, you were born for the table prepared in the presence of your enemies. That table is already being set. Your nameplate is already carved into it. All that is required is for you to take your seat with boldness. Now, listen to this deeper mystery. When heaven closed your case, it also shifted the balance of power in your lineage. Generational debts have been cancelled. Ancient chains have been snapped. The struggles your parents could not overcome will not pass to you. The fears that ruled your grandparents will not rule your children. You have become the point of separation, the one who turns the tide. That is why the battle felt unbearable, because it was not only your battle, it was theirs too. But you stood, you endured, and in doing so you have secured victory for those who come after you. From this day forward, a new chapter begins in your family line. Beloved, can you sense the atmosphere around you shifting even as you hear this? The warmth on your skin, the tingle on your arms, the tears threatening to fall, these are not emotions only. They are confirmations. The Spirit is bearing witness within you that this word belongs to you. And the longer you stay under this word, the more it will unlock. Every sentence you absorb breaks another link of doubt. Every paragraph you hear strengthens your agreement with heaven's decree. Do not rush away. Do not treat this as another passing message. It is a living scroll being unrolled before you. Archangel Michael whispers again, "Watch the signs, child. They will come quickly now." A repeated number that follows you day after day. A dream that lingers in your spirit as though you lived it. A stranger whose words pierce you with uncanny accuracy. These are not random. They are confirmations of the sealed verdict. When you see them, do not ignore them. Write them down. Treasure them. For they are the signatures of heaven reminding you, the case is closed. And child, let me say this plainly, the very stage built to shame you will become the platform of your testimony. Those who gathered to mock will watch in awe as God writes glory where they wrote disgrace. They will not be able to deny it. They may try to explain it away, but deep in their hearts they will know the truth. You are chosen, and the hand of heaven rests upon you. Walk with humility, but also with confidence. This is your season of unveiling. If your heart is burning as you hear this, then seal it now. Do not let this connection slip. Subscribe, not as a routine click, but as a covenant with heaven that you will stay aligned to the flow of revelation being poured out. These words are keys. Each one opens a door. Miss one, and you may wander outside the path. Stay connected, and the entire journey will unfold before you step by step. So stand tall, beloved. The court is adjourned. The case is closed. The record is clear. The chains are broken. The inheritance is released. And your future is already waiting for you. Rise, for heaven has spoken. Beloved child, the reason this word grips your heart so deeply is because it was written for you before time began. Long before you were born, before you ever shed a tear, before you ever made a mistake, heaven knew you would need this exact moment. And so the decree was prepared, waiting for the right time to be revealed. The case is closed. You are not standing here by accident. You did not stumble into this message by coincidence. You were drawn, pulled, compelled by a divine hand that knew what your soul needed to hear today. For years you have carried questions that went unanswered. You have carried shame you could not shake. You have fought invisible battles that no one around you understood. But heaven understood. And heaven has ruled. And child, let me say this with urgency, your silence is over. For too long you have hidden your voice, thinking you had nothing worth saying, thinking your story was too broken, too messy, too unworthy. But now, your voice is needed. There are others walking the same dark path you once walked, and they are waiting for the sound of your testimony. Do not withhold it. Do not silence yourself. For your words carry power now, the power of someone vindicated, someone chosen, someone whose case is closed. When you speak, hearts will tremble. When you share, faith will awaken. When you testify, chains will break. Do not underestimate this. You are not just free for yourself, you are free to set others free. Beloved, the Spirit compels me to tell you this: your season of delay has ended. What was held back is being released. The harvest you thought you lost is being restored. The dreams you buried are being resurrected. And it will happen faster than you expect. Do not measure tomorrow by the pace of yesterday. For the pace has changed. Time itself bends to the decree of heaven. What once crawled will now run. What once delayed will now accelerate. The case is closed, and so the gates are open. If your heart is pounding as you hear this, if something in you is shouting, "Yes, this is mine," then seal it. Anchor yourself to this stream of revelation. Subscribe, not out of routine, but as a declaration: I will not miss what heaven is releasing. I will stay aligned. I will stay connected. I will walk step by step into the fullness of this decree. For more words are coming, each one unfolding another layer of this mystery, each one guiding you further into your inheritance. So rise, child. Wipe away your tears. Square your shoulders. Lift your head. Walk forward. For heaven has spoken, and its word cannot be undone. The case is closed. The verdict is final. The inheritance is yours. And the world is about to see what heaven has always known: you are chosen, you are beloved, and you are free.